My fellow Americans, good evening, my fellow Americans. My name is George Wilson. I am running in the 2020 presidential election, presidential race for the President of the United States. I prepared a statement here for you guys because I want you to understand my position and what I will be doing for the American people. So, if you see me reading this, because I wrote it, so I have to read what I wrote. But this is for you guys. That's just for all of us. For months now, I've been posting videos on Facebook, my political page, as any American citizen. I can no longer watch this government to continue to debunk a country that many have fought, bled, and have given their lives for. When millions, billions, and trillions of U.S. dollars are being squandered for tax breaks for the rich, which was approved by Congress. And when it comes to health care, education, the environment, or the infrastructure, there is no money in the budget for it. Seemingly, when they need money for something, it comes out of nowhere. Trillions of dollars. Checks or otherwise. But when it comes to doing what is needed to be done in this country, the money to be used to help this nation and this country, all of a sudden, there is no money. When high-ranking officials, i.e., the president, can go on national television and say that he or his campaign has raised $6 million, or what I've seen on the numbers, which are the real actual numbers, $1.6 million for the veterans, and all of which, but a small percentage, was used on his re-election 2020 campaign. A small percentage was used on, a small percentage of which the veterans got, if they got that. So he flat out lied. We have a lying president. When a sitting president, in this case a madman here lately, can use can use executive powers to sanction a full government shutdown if he's impeached. No. I can't sit and do nothing. You, as the American people, as U.S. citizens, shouldn't sit quietly and do nothing. That is what the Republican Party hopes for. That American people remain quiet and do nothing, or if you will, do as they're told. President Donald J. Trump is a bully of the worst kind. If it doesn't benefit him, he's not interested. Let me say that again. If it doesn't benefit Donald Trump, he's not interested. And he cares, and all he cares about is him. That's all he cares about. He cares about Donald Trump. He doesn't care about the American people. He doesn't care about any of us as U.S. citizens. He don't care about the Latino community, the Black community, the LGBTQ community. He doesn't care about everyday American people. If it doesn't benefit Donald J. Trump, he doesn't care like he ever did. But if it doesn't benefit him, he doesn't care. It doesn't matter. No. He must be stopped. Or democracy, as we know it, will be lost to dictatorship. If Donald Trump is allowed back into the office for a second term, ladies and gentlemen, as a U.S. citizen, as a concerned parent, friend, we're going into dictatorship. We cannot allow this president under this regime to continue to take this country down. We've already been taken down enough. We can't continue to allow him to sink this United States of America to suit his own whim. Whether he gets his way or not, America is changing the way it's ever been run and ever stood for, right before our eyes. I'm running for the American people, for every citizen of this country, every senior, every vet, every U.S. immigrant, no matter what your color, nationality, or ethnicity. I'm running for us all. It's not about what benefits George. It's what benefits you, everyday, normal people. What affects your life today? Or what has already been affecting your life and nobody's been listening to you? It affects us all. The decisions we make in 2020 will be decisions that we would have to live for the next 4 years. Whether it be myself or someone else, this will be a decision we will live with, whether you vote or you don't. Whether you say, it doesn't matter, whether you vote or you don't, it will affect you as well. And this is a decision that each and every last one of us, the American people, and every U.S. citizen need to take note of. This is the most important election that you will ever face in history. Let me say that again because some of us don't believe that. This is the most important election that you will ever face or ever be part of in U.S. history. So it's very important that you make a statement or your voice be heard loud and clear that we're not going to continue to stand for a regime or stand for a commander-in-chief that is constantly bleeding this country dry and sinking America into its lowest point. It's time to stop this madness. This is not about your votes. I'm not in it for your votes. Hear me well when I say what I say. It's not about your votes, popularity or popular votes, not even the electoral college votes, or promises made in the past, but what is right, lawful, truthful, under God through Jesus Christ. Is what is right. We haven't heard that said very much in past campaigns. Nobody's talking about what is right anymore. This election is about what is right and true. There's a lot of things wrong with America today. And it starts with what is right. We could change what is wrong to what is right with America. Right now, there's seemingly everything wrong with America, including its leadership. It's time to change that. To come out of the shadows of the past where everyone's voice and concerns are heard. And what concerns you as citizens every day. The issues we face, the issue that we're facing, and the issues we are going to face. I want you to know I'm listening. God knows I'm listening. Our voices will be heard loud and clear on Capitol Hill. We are humans, and we are Americans, and we're not, and we are here to stay. To come out from the way government is being run. Our government is in ruins, and it's not getting any better. Fitting into where everybody on Capitol Hill is buddy, fitting in to get in or to stay in. No more sitting on the issues that affect our lives and choosing the ones they are told to vote on. It stops. We can stop it. Didn't say I said we. The Republicans want our vote. The Democrats want our votes. And the first time in history that the Latino population outnumbers the black population in voters and numbers of people that can vote. First time in history. Then the Asian population. These are all factual numbers. So, and then you got, of course, your Caucasian voters. You have, and the Republicans know, Donald Trump even knows, that he needs to get all of the Latino votes, or dang near all of them. And he knows he needs the black voters' votes in order to win a second term. He knows this. Those are the most important votes that face all voters, that face all runners, whether Democrat or Republican, for the House, for the White House. They know that it would take all of the Latinos votes, like I said, majority, and the black votes. Why do you think Iowa is very important? Why do you think New Hampshire is very important? Why do you think South Carolina is very important? Illinois is very important. These are the states that anybody that's running for president in these caucuses have to attend if you hope to get some of the votes. And the playing field, the running field is going to be full. And there's going to be people. They're going to fall off this race very quickly, like flies. Whether it be because they don't have long enough money to continue to run this race, that some will be intimidated, others will be overwhelmed. Others will lose by debates. Others will lose by non-popular. They're just not popular with the crowd. The American people don't see anything in them to say, I'm willing to get behind you. Going into this, I know this very well. I've been watching. I've been paying attention. I've been studying the charts, the numbers. I've been watching the polls, watching the news, listening. And I've yet to hear in any of it what concerns the average, everyday citizen of the United States. And yet to hear somebody to address their concerns. Every candidate that I've seen on the news that have been posed with any of these questions have deflected these questions, or have answers, or changed the subject. One in particular that I found to be quite tasteless is Elizabeth Warren, when they asked her about immigration reform and what she will do about it, coming to try to get the Latino votes. And one thing she said that I don't know if anybody caught it. She said that the government don't have money to, basically in essence, to waste time on babysitting or putting up with the concerns of the Latino population just to get votes. She said that with two different faces. And I was looking, and they asked her something else, and she was like, almost didn't even have an answer. Then she deflected real quick to something else. She said, well, that's certainly something we can look into. And I'm like, what? I'd be highly offended if I was sitting in that room and I was of a Latino descent. I would be pretty ticked off. I'd be like, really? I'd raise my hand. Excuse me, I got a question. You really don't want me to ask no questions. I'd have put her on the spot. Her little seat would have been so hot, but she got up. It would have been a hole in her skirt. Seriously. Yeah. Now, I've heard the women that were talking about in Kentucky what they would be looking for in their next candidate. I believe because everybody has the right to vote, especially now this year, this election, more than any election I've ever seen, young people are coming out to the polls. The ones that are at the age to vote, and most of them are of Latino backgrounds. And the majority of them are of Afro-Americans. So you got a lot of young people. And if you look at the polls correctly, the numbers correctly, most of the ones that are at college age are mostly women, young women. Something that Donald Trump has, people that Donald Trump has disrespected from day one when he got into the White House. He's never respected a woman. He's always disrespected them. They toned him down, but he still has something smart to say about women. One of the news things, the lady reporter was trying to get him to answer a question. He told her to sit down. And she asked him, he said, I'm not disrespecting you. She said, yes, you are. I'm a journalist like everybody else out here. And he was trying to reach around her. She said, no, I got just a question. And he basically disrespected her and told her to get the mic to somebody else. He basically told the people to try to tell her to sit her down. She was like, no. I just got one question. And then when she finally got a chance to answer the question, he deflected. He didn't even answer her question. He went on to the next reporter. Male, of course. So the women are not taking this anymore. Good for you. They also make up the majority. This is not just a man's world. It takes all of us to make a world, including the women. Donald Trump. I don't know how you got here. You had to have a mother. Do you disrespect her? Is she still alive? Because if I was her and I saw my kid acting like that, I don't care how I raised him, but if I saw him acting as stupid as he was acting, I would slap him. If I'm 70, 90 years old, I'll slap the crap out of him. Because that's not how I raised you. I'm just saying. So they said they want a candidate that will speak on the level of regular, everyday people simple concerns that concern everyday, normal people. And they just want people just to listen. Somebody not only listening that says, I'm going to take your concerns with me. I'm going to do better. We all are going to take those concerns to Capitol Hill, and we all going to take it to the White House. Government is not going to sit on these issues any longer. One of them said they want a candidate that has a plan. Well, I have several plans. Being a citizen of the United States and private citizen at the moment, there's a lot of issues I believe that should be addressed that has not been addressed. I've seen a lot of things mentioned, but I haven't seen them so concerned on what's good or what's safe for the American people. I see them stepping on the necks and the backs of the American people, but I don't see them doing anything. And it's blame on both sides of the field, the Republicans and the Democrats. I don't see them doing very much of anything. The Republicans are busy fighting because they're trying to keep their president in office, and the Democrats is fighting to kick him out. Where both parties are busy fighting and government is at a standstill, nothing is getting done, and now we're having a big argument. And us poor little people, the American people, are getting lost in the shuffle. And we're made to sit down on our couches or chairs and watch the news and watch all of this unfold, and we're shaking our heads. And this man is buying time to stay in office. And if he even made a threat to several people, whistleblowers, whoever the whistleblower was, and then he made a threat to anybody that testifies against him. He threw Rudy Giuliani completely under the bus. He's saying people that he's been in cahoots with, he'd never met before. On one side of his mouth, he says in one interview, he's a real honest and decent man. In another interview, he says, I never met the man. I don't know who you're talking about. This is a president troubled, despondent, and got his back against the wall. And he's pulling out every dirty trick in the book. And that means selling the United States out to keep from being impeached by using executive powers for a full government shutdown. Swallow that one if you can. You ever had one of those big old John Horse pills they give you and you swallow it and it gets stuck in your throat? Yeah. Like you gasp for air and drink some more water trying to get that big booger to swallow it? Try something twice the size of that. Because that's hard to swallow. You already caused a wall that you wanted. Partial government shutdown. Because they didn't give you what you were looking for. Or because you demanded or bully your way around to build a wall. And the only wall he built was the one he was complaining about. There's no more construction going on down there on the border of Mexico. They ain't talking about, a beautiful wall in Colorado. We're building a beautiful wall. Are you insane, stupid? Colorado doesn't have a border. They have a secret underground bunker. A secret underground city under the airport, of course, but that ain't what you're trying to build a wall for. Psst, really? Oh, I forgot. We're not supposed to know that, right? Oops. Well, I'd be dumb as a presidential candidate and have no idea what's behind the scenes. That's kind of dumb. So the American people said they want a candidate that has a plan. Okay. I have a plan. My plan is to change the way government will run forever. A non-sitting but fully operational, fully functional government working on the issues we face now and in the future. A government that says, I will not rest until we solve, if not all, but most of the American issues, policies, and issues. Someone, as Commander-in-Chief, I will see to it that our government is functioning 100% and that everybody's doing their job. That includes the Senate. They seem to think the president don't have no power over the Senate. The president could make some waves. The House, the president can make waves there too. If you're going to use all your executive power, Mr. Trump, on frivolous garbage, then why don't you use your executive power where it's needed in Congress, in the House, and in the Senate to get things done? And I say, oh, look what I did. It's very good. I did this, I did that. I really don't want to hear it. I'm a U.S. citizen, private citizen. I don't want to hear it. If I could use strange language, I'll probably be using it right now. But I can't. Not as a candidate. And not as a pastor. But it's full of stuff. Mr. President, that's what you're full of. You're full of yourself, absorbed, homophobic, narcissistic self. You're full of you. And not the American people. You kill us, what happens to us? You're greedy. That's why you want 4 more years. To suck us dry of everything that we've ever been. You're trying to suck us dry for every little dime you can get. But let's move on. I had another thought, but I'm not going to say that. I'm going to move on because somebody may misconstrue my thought, but I'm saying, and they may take this as a threat, and I'm not threatening anybody. My plan is to continue to fight for affordable health care for all. To fight for the seniors. The government is talking about taking over $780 million away from the seniors. From Medicaid, Medicare. I'm not going to let that happen. It's not going to happen. I will fight for the seniors. I will fight for Social Security. I will fight for the working families. I will fight for free education, colleges and universities. If other countries could budget their dollars and have the brightest young people go to universities for 4 years, free of charge, to get the education that they need to function, or should I say, to participate in society, in innovation, and be able to achieve excellence in the workplace, I'm going to fight for that. Where they can compete. Where they can reach out and become all they can be. Not stuck under a heavy balloon debt of student loans that they'll never pay off. Their grandmother or grandfather or their ancestors would never be able to pay that kind of a loan off. Their children's children are being debt. I'm going to fight for free college universities. And those that's coming to the United States from other countries, make it affordable for them to go to college here in the United States. To further their education, if they choose to come here in the United States. It shouldn't be that expensive for them to get an education as well. See, the problem with us is everything has to be about money. And how can we make money, have productive young men and women in society working in the economy to help to raise the economy, to blossom the economy if they're stuck on their debt that they can't pay back? Fight for affordable prescriptions. Most of our senior citizens and those that are on Medicaid, Medicare, or Social Security, SSI, SDI, whatever it is, some of their medications are expensive. And their co-pays are ridiculous. These pharmaceuticals and companies are making billions of dollars on a pill that only costs less than 50 cents to mass produce. Where they're making cancer medicine and cancer research impossible because they're charging too much money. We have to rethink the budget, and we have to rethink the way we think here and here when it comes to making decisions on Capitol Hill. Affordable insurance and affordable health care and prescription shouldn't just be for the rich. Now, those that could afford it, what about those hard-working men and women that can't afford it? It's going to work very hard for you to fight for you. We're all going to get into this fight together. See, it takes a people to come together and force our government to do what we send them there to do. To work for us. Not to get back and deep pockets. We all like to have a nest egg too. But with the cheap raising of inflation and our national debt keep going up, how are we going to ever make enough money to retire on? And then you're talking about taking Social Security. No, sir. I'm not going to let Mr. Government take it or affect it in any way if I can. We got to do better. These are the concerns of every average, everyday citizen. What else? I'm going to fight for the environment, infrastructure, the economy, jobs. Something Donald Trump said he has caused. He maybe it caused some things to happen. But when you think of the ripple effect of the numbers of people that are still not working, the ripple effect of the numbers of those still homeless that can't get jobs, unemployment is still down. Unemployment is still up. I don't know where to get all these crazy numbers from, but if you did the math, it showed me that he did very little, if anything. But he'll claim he did. Jobs, immigration, real big subject matter today. DACA, we already said we're going to do something with DACA. Obama did some things with DACA. And on the left side of that, he turned around and deported folks. Children without their parents. Breaking families up because someone didn't have the necessary papers. So either the father goes back to the country he came from, and the mother and the children stays here because the child is a U.S. citizen. Or the mother goes to the far country, and the father stays here. And in some cases has worked where the parents were sent back to the country because neither one of them were U.S. citizen, but they left the kid because he or she is a U.S. citizen. I think this is unfair. I think it's deplorable. I think it doesn't make any sense at all. We're going to fight for immigration laws, reform, reunite those children with their families in the United States. Fight to help those that have been here 5 years or more to get the actual citizenship to become U.S. citizens. And the ones that are U.S. citizens, because they are immigrants from other countries, they will be still treated with all the rights and all the benefits a U.S. citizen has, because they are a U.S. citizen. And they shall not be discriminated upon or stereotyped because they're from another country. Their ancestors may be. Their parents may be. They may have been before. But they live and reside in the United States. And they will be treated as U.S. citizens. Our young people that are going on this upward bounding and got jobs and got double majors or triple majors won't have to worry about, what about my parents? Will they be deported? What about my parents? Will you be able to let them into the United States through the proper channels? Yes. I don't see no reason why not. See, our problem is we pick and choose, and we don't care how it affects affects each other. In order for these young people to be successful, they need their parents. Even if they're grown young men and women, they still need their parents. And I don't think we should be discriminating or deporting them because they don't have the right papers. But they've been here longer than 5 years. And the only problem is maybe they don't have a problem with reading or writing or understanding what it takes to become a U.S. citizen. So we're supposed to deport them because their education level is not where it needs to be? That's why we have schools or we have different tutorship to help them, that speak in their language, to help them get the necessary papers to become U.S. citizens. If they help this economy and worked within this economy, never broken the law, they're not a criminal. There's no way in the world I'm going to allow ICE, the Border Patrol, or any other government official to deport these people back across into Mexico if they've been here that long and they came in the country legally. No. In my book, they're still American citizens, and we need to help them understand that they are American citizens. And they should not be denied passport or flight restrictions because they look of a certain brand. And that goes with any other country that's in the United States that are American citizens. We're not going to treat them like they're the terrorists or they're the enemy when they have proven nothing of the kind. We're not going to sit back and monitor their calls and their whereabouts as if they were terrorists. We're going to treat them like U.S. citizens until otherwise noted. Now, there are also sleeping cells in the United States. If we spend more time and money and energy trying to find out every sleeping cell that's here, we ain't got time to point fingers at anybody else. If we do our job, we can protect the security of the United States and all of its citizens by doing our jobs. Yes, I'm running for you to Commander-in-Chief. I have a plan to fight for gun control. Our youth, our children, our privacy, and our security. The problem isn't the guns. The problem is in manufacturers. The problem is it's too easy accessible for people that are considered somewhat mentally unfit to have a weapon in their hand. The problem is the NRA. Nobody challenges the NRA. It's time to fight. And we can only win this fight if we fight together. If we, and notice I said we, together, as your U.S. president, we will fight together to end hunger in America and abroad if we can. We will end homelessness in America. We will fight for those that can't fight for themselves. We will fight for the unborn. We will fight for what's right and not for what's wrong. My plan is to fight for our armed forces and the vets. To fight for every homeless American. To take trillions of dollars from the rich, tax cuts and bonuses which they do not deserve. Or they didn't earn. Or they haven't truly earned and put it to good use. And aid these projects such as Habitat for Humanity. And others to build shelters and affordable homes without interest. Interest-free for all of these, for all of those that are displaced or homeless. Help our fellow citizens off the streets. We look at them every day. Some of us turn our nose up at them. Some of us drive right by and don't ask if you could buy them something. But they may be hungry. May need a few dollars. How many of us know that we have the funds or the forthwith to help these people off the street and put them up in hotels so they don't have to sleep on these cold streets, especially in Washington, D.C., New York, New Jersey, and other places, Philadelphia, where this time of year it gets really cold. Last year, I believe it was, an old man was found sitting in the park, frozen to death, homeless. frozen to death. And we call ourselves neighbors. And I'm talking about all of us, myself included. I'm ashamed of myself. You should be ashamed of yourself too. And there's homelessness all around the world. But if we, as Americans, don't start, how do you expect anyone else, our neighbors, to get on the bandwagon and do the same? If we think God is pleased, I have news for you, and I'm talking to the church. God is not pleased with any of us. We say the government does this, the government needs to do this. What about us? Some of us can do better than we're doing. Yes, the government needs to help. But we have to also show the government we can work too. We shouldn't put the burden only on one man's shoulder. But if we all get together, we can push the wheel together. If we all get together and work together, we can accomplish anything. Offer them a sense of pride, self-worth, and respect we all want and expect. We need to help those less fortunate than us. With all the problems that's facing the United States government and issues and policies, it's easy to lose track of all the different things that we need done. But if we ourselves get together and remind them that we are human, remind them that we're still here, and remind them they are human, and remind them they came from somewhere, that to look back and remember where they came from as well. Then we all could heal and become one again. We may be down, but we're not certainly out. We are fighters, all of us. We may be divided, but we can unite again more stronger than we ever been. Our present administration have driven us down and caused us to look shameful and disrespect and our enemies. President Trump has done a wonderful job in making us look like we're fools. Nobody's smart but him. Not the people that got him there. Not even the ones in his own cabinet was trying to keep him there. And he's trying to make everybody look like a fool. And when we wake up, even the Democratic Party that's trying to impeach him, he's still trying to make us look like a fool. We will get our respect back. We will rise and we will stand. We will be proud. Why? Because we are Americans. We don't give up in a fight. We fight until we can't fight anymore, and then we fight some more. Never say die. being military myself, we never leave a man left on the battlefield, whether alive, wounded, or even dead. Never leave a man on the battlefield, or never leave a man behind. This is something that has always been embedded in me since the military, and I will not leave the United States, the people, American people, behind. Our old, our young, our disabled, our vets, our armed forces. We stand with everyone. We are Americans. Note to our allies, we see you and we stand with you. We have lost our focus, but we have regained it. We have regained it. And we thank you for your patience with us. Just like the family, you're one of us. Note to our enemies, those who hate us without a cause, bear a warning. Do not take our kindness lightly or for weakness. We are still strong. We are mighty. And if you've forgotten, we are to be feared. We will fight strong and united, and you will lose. You mess with our young, or mess with our old, our young, our armed forces, and our allies, you mess with us. And that will not ever be tolerated. Yes, my name is George Wilson. I'm running for the U.S. President of the United States of America in 2020. I might be new at this, but I'm also true to this. I'm not running Republican. I'm not even running Democrat. I'm running nonpartisan. I'm running independent. I can't make anyone vote for me or come out for me or to believe in any of my policies, anything that I feel strongly about. And I can't really ask you guys to trust me. But I will ask you to think about everything I just said on this video. And think about it really hard. Because you haven't heard one candidate say anything I've said today. I chose my words very carefully. And I looked and I searched. And you hear candidates all over the place say a lot of things. But no one has said anything in any form of what I said today. No more lies in this administration. No more deception. No more keeping the American people in the dark. The American people needs to know. If the news media won't broadcast the truth, then I will come on national television myself and inform the American people what the American people need to know. They need to know where their money is going. And they need to know what their government is doing for them. So I believe this works two ways. I believe the government is responsible, is accountable to the American people, but the American people need to be accountable to themselves and to the government. See, we work together. We're a force that will forever be reckoned with. We'll be stronger than any nation in the world, including those of us that are very boastful, like North Korea, China, and Russia. I know what biblical history says. But we can restore America once again under God to its powerful state if we get together and fight together and stop all the senseless violence and innocent bloodshed and deception and lies, and begin to come back as a nation that's united, hand to hand, and touch and hand to hand with your neighbor, and said, "I'm here, brother, if you need me," and trust in the hands that you're holding, knowing they won't stab you in your back. If you want real truth, if you want real change, vote absolute truth in 2020. That's my hashtag. That will be my slogan. That will never change. It will be always what I stand for. The truth. Righteousness. Integrity. And accountability to you, my fellow citizens, and the American people. It's time to rise up, stand strong, unite, be united, and be proud to be an American. God bless you, and good night.